Welcome to the video on the introduction to the mill. The mill we're going to be looking at today is a Bridgeport style, or it's actually called a knee mill. Some people refer to it as a universal ram and column. The reason it's universal is because we can rotate the head. The ram is going to be what the head is actually attached to. We'll show you about adjusting that later. And then the column is what the ram actually sits on. This is a 3-axis mill, but we can rotate the head around. Remember to always wear safety glasses and don't touch the spinning sharp thing. The first thing we're going to go over is the y-axis. Next is the x-axis. These axes refer to moving the table using the Cartesian coordinate system. Next, we're going to look at the knee. The knee is used to actually elevate the part. It's not the z-axis, but it can be used to control depth with the z-axis. This is the quill stop. What this does is it prevents the quill from being pulled out when you're milling. The reason it will be pulled out is because a mill is a giant screw that we're using to cut against the side. As you can see, it's actually 2 pieces. There's a jam nut underneath. Remember to always do milling up against that stop. You never want to see you milling in the air. Right there, he's moving the quill up and down. And that is the actual quill lock. So that was the position we want to see you in anytime you're milling. Again, that's the quill, or the z-axis. We're going to move that for drilling and some milling operations. Here is the forward and backwards for the motor. The 1 and the 2 are the positions that you'd put it in depending on if you're in back gear or front gear. The reason we call it back gear, it's actually low gear, but we call it back because the handle's away from you towards the back of the machine. And forward gear because it's towards the front of you, that's the high gear. Loosening these will allow you to move the ram forward and backwards. You never want to mill like this. You only ever want to move the table when you're milling. And remember to tighten when you're done. These 4 bolts, there's 2 on this side and 2 on the other side of the machine. They're going to allow you to actually rotate the head. Some machines have attachments that go on the back part where his hand is, and so you need to rotate it around 180 degrees to use those secondary attachments. This is equipped with a step pulley. That's how you would change the speed. You would loosen the motor, pull it towards you, adjust your belt, bring it back and tighten it in position. The 4 bolts in the front that he's pointing to allow the head to rotate. By loosening these bolts and then turning the adjustment screw in the back, we can rotate the head. That's the bolt that we use to rotate the head. Here's an example of rotating the head. Most of the time, 95% of the time, you're only going to use the head in a vertical position. You're not going to need to rotate it for anything. These 3 bolts are going to allow you to move the head up and down along that protractor. Once these 3 are loosened, you can twist that handle, that right there. These are also important for adjusting the tram on the head to make sure it's actually perpendicular to the table. Thank you. This is a short rundown of how to use the mill. If you have any questions, please ask. Watch the video.